for joining us. So often we hear of women's health concerns such as heart disease, diabetes, and especially breast cancer, increasing at a rapid rate. But very seldom we hear about the victims of the diseases and condition and how it affects women in the workplace. Women in the workplace receiving equal pay was a big part of the U.S. presidential campaign. But what happens to the woman when she becomes ill? Today, I'm interviewing Rochelle Wimbish, who is a professional and a breast cancer survivor. Welcome, Rochelle.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So I'm going to just start off at kind of the beginning. How old were you when you were diagnosed with breast cancer, and what position did you have at that time?
I was 42, and my position title was Director of Finance. I was the highest financial executive in the organization. Worked for a not-for-profit, the oldest special ed institution in the Washington, D.C. area.
So were you happy at the job at the time?
I would say, happy enough. I had been there for 5 years, and I was interested at that time before my diagnosis of looking to move to another position because I'd been there for 5 years.
So what happened on the job concerning your illness? Once you were diagnosed and you had to go to the job, and everyone has that situation where you've got to go and share personal information with an employer. What happened at that time when you had to go and discuss your illness or deal with your illness and the job at the same time?
It's interesting how it's kind of surreal, to be honest, and you're in denial. So I didn't share it right away. But obviously I had surgery schedules. I was treating my cancer aggressively, and that was my choice. I actually, because I was thinking about leaving, for some reason I just had the presence of mind to call an attorney and talk to an attorney because I was afraid of going into a new job that I would be vulnerable to being terminated once they realized I was getting treatment. So I got the best advice I could get from the attorney. I never thought of it. The attorney advised me, if nothing else, to apply for family medical leave. And at that time, I thought you apply for that once you exhaust all of your vacation. And the attorney informed me that actually that protects you for situations like this. And that is what protected me. I had my I actually, of course, I had to inform my employer because your employer has to sign the family medical leave papers. So I had the doctor to fax over all of the information. I'm not sure when the information spread through the organization because there is the water cooler talk. But I will say this, that when I was out for my surgery and it was time for me to come back is when I realized just, I guess, how much my services were valued to the organization. I don't know, it was sort of like because of the treatment that I had to go through, which I had to have chemo, and when I came back to work, I was already in treatment. It was as if I kind of felt like they really didn't want me around. I have to be honest with you.
Right.
And however, because of the family medical leave, this is what I think. Because I had protection under that, the CEO, who was new, we did not have a relationship. I'd like to say that for the record. He didn't know me that well, but he offered me a buyout. He pretty much offered me to go away. And he actually said to me, Rochelle, you can try to meet these goals that I'm putting in front of you, which were very, very hard goals to meet in a short period of time. He says, or you can walk away and get well, and we'll pay you. So I actually received 10 months compensation with health benefits.
I think a lot of times people don't realize that whether it's an illness or disability, whatever happens in life, that it does affect our employment. And I think as women, it affects us more because we're expected to have more responsibility. So after having this life-changing condition, entering the workplace, re-entering the workplace. How did that take place?
That was really challenging, and I'll tell you, and it's really emotional because it really felt good that I was able to stay at home and have treatment and not have to go to work. But it comes a point where you start feeling better and it's time to go back to work. And I was still getting chemotherapy, and through that process, my body was changing, and I was going through, I guess you could say, premature menopause, if you will. And I remember sitting in an interview. I said, I'm going to test it out. And I had on a wig, and I'm sitting there, and I'm sweating, and I felt like this person sitting across the table looked at me as if he knew through and through that I had cancer. I don't know if he did or not, but it is really a tough situation because you do feel like you're damaged. And it took a while. Like I said, it's not that it's other people. Maybe it's my perception. I hope that answers your question.
It did. So what recommendation do you have for women that may lose a job because of illness? And as we know, breast cancer, we have so many fundraisers, and now it's like it's kind of accepted that women have breast cancer when before it was a hush-hush thing. But women who have to lose a job, what advice do you have for them? Because they're going to have to re-enter the workplace.
Yes, the first thing is to apply for family medical leave. And the second thing is to open up and share it. I think the best thing you can do is to share it because there are people who you don't know who have been through what you've gone through. You see, and when you open up yourself to other people, that's when you get help and that's when you get support. And support makes a difference, especially in the workplace. No one wants to, no employer wants to look bad for firing someone who has cancer.
Exactly.
So I would just say, definitely do the paperwork. There are rights that we have in a family medical leave. There's a right that's in place. Take advantage of your rights and open up and share. And don't be ashamed.
Thank you, Michelle. So here we have it. Another topic on women and the workplace. This topic isn't headlines because women are expected to handle it all and still make everyone else okay. It's important for all of us to reach out and help the next person so the road won't be so rough. Until next time, have a good day.